Hello, my name is Denise Roussel, and I'm your guide to creating a new life, and this is Coronavirus Comedy Hour. Actually, I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but I didn't think it was very catchy to say Coronavirus 29 minutes. So, meanwhile, I want you to relax, grab a beverage of your choice, and let's get going. By the way, I heard that Corona Beer has changed its name because they don't want to be associated with the coronavirus. And so they picked a name that's very catchy. Ebola Extra. Wow. So, how do you like my setup? See, I live here in Austin, Texas. And so I was thinking, we had all these cancellations. Like here in Austin, we had South by Southwest canceled. And in October's ACL, which is Austin City Limits. And so I thought an alternate name for this show could be Austin Coronavirus Limits. Because, we've had so many limits that we've had to go through. But speaking of which, before I go any farther, I want to talk about something that someone mentioned in my last video, and I actually was going to talk about it then, but I didn't. And it is about my hair. I absolutely love my hair. And I have never put anything into my hair, and it's been so amazing. So meanwhile, my hair is its own entity. And so that reminded me of the Addams Family. They had that character in the Addams Family is Cousin It. And Cousin It has all his hair like this, and he wears little sunglasses, etc. Well, since my hair is its own entity, I felt like it should abide by the rules too and wear a face mask. So that's exactly what I did. So meanwhile, here we are, all of us doing our best, working from home, and for some of us that's working out, and for some of us that's not working out so well. But nonetheless, it is what it is. And sometimes it could be a little disappointing. For example, when my cleaning lady called me to inform me that she would be working from home, but that she was going to send me instructions on what to do. WTF! Doesn't she know that I'm over here investing my time in self-improvement and internal work? And I don't know if I have time for all of those instructions to clean my house. However, I have decided I have a really good strategy for this self-improvement and to learn a lot about life and about myself. And so I have decided to do two things. One is to binge watch Game of Thrones. Yeah, you learn a lot from that. And the other is to reach mastery level, commander level 55 on Call of Duty. What do you think? Pretty sharp, huh? I think I could do it. So, meanwhile, seriously, I decided that I think I'm going to record memories of 2020. And I thought I'd share them with you. And so, what I'll remember from 2020. When I get so excited to go stand in line at the grocery store around the block 6 feet from the next person. And I'm so excited because I get to see a real live person. And it's been a while. In fact, I think I saw the UPS man and somebody walking their dog. So I'm so excited. The only thing is that it's a little disappointing because they can't see my smile and I can't see their smile because they're all dressed up like a robber and pretty stressed out. And so that can be a little disappointing. But meanwhile, what is this world coming to when I see a police and this fear grips my heart that I'm going to get thrown in jail for not keeping a social distance and for not wearing a face mask. And, I got my wheels turning when I think about that. What are they doing with social distancing in the jail? This is not exactly adding up. Really? Wow. So, what are some other memories of 2020 during this wonderful period of time? I know. When I can't remember the last time I got laid, but I will settle for a hug from the mailman. Wow. Now, mind you, I have not hugged the mailman because I'm keeping my social distance, but I will say this. The mailman here is pretty hot. So, speaking of the mailman, back in the day after World War II, they had all these babies being born. They call them the baby boomers. So, when those babies came out, the daddy would look at them and like, that don't look like me. That don't look like me. That baby looks like the mailman. Whoa. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't think that's going to be the issue here. However, I do believe that in 9 months, we are going to see a lot of babies being born. And then in 2033, we're going to call those babies quarantiners. What do you think about that? So, and speaking of kids, it looks like the kids are just peachy keen fine, happy with this situation. They're running around the house and bouncing off the walls and making tents, playing video games, watching all kind of TV, and all of the rules have gone out the window. And so the parents, they're about to crawl out of their skin. And they don't even worry about restrictions and all this, because at this point, most parents are just having one goal. And that goal is to make sure that their kid doesn't die. But after that, anything goes. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you got a kid or 2 or 3 or 4 in your house, and maybe they're getting on your last nerve and you're all crabby and touchy, but maybe it's because you're not getting enough oxygen because you're so uptight. Which reminds me, you know how Darth Vader was so freaking crabby all the time and angry, and how he had this really strange voice? Well, I figured it out. It's because he wore that big old face mask and he was not getting enough oxygen, so that makes you go a little crazy. You don't know what you're saying. So, meanwhile, you know how Darth Vader is. He's like, Luke, I am your father. And the kid says, well, you're being a pretty crappy father these days. why don't you take off your face mask and get yourself some oxygen because you're so freaking uptight all the time. So speaking of which, that reminds me, there's these aliens that were like circling around the planet, and they're like talking about what's going on here. And they're like, let's take some time to watch this shit show going on, because it's pretty interesting. The drama's getting more and more. Wow, let's see what's going to happen. And so one of them says, you know, those humans, they got a lot of crap they're working through, but I will give them this. They have the cleanest hands and they have the squeaky cleanest butts of the entire universe. I gotta hand it to them. And so meanwhile, one of them says, hey, what do you say we touch down and go and visit the humans? And the other one says, hell no, that is the ghetto, and I ain't going to no ghetto. And we're likely to go and catch this coronavirus. We'll die, get kicked back to our planet, and that's just not gonna work for me. Thank you very much. We're just gonna watch this shit show from up here. Wow. So, meanwhile, have you noticed how time has just like disappeared? It's like one day runs into the other day, bedtime, wake up time, everything's just all wonky and blends together into just one big, what day is it today? And what time it is? Well, it's gone. It disappeared. This is so weird. So I was thinking, going back to these memories, I'm remembering when you actually have more fun at a virtual birthday party than you did when you actually could be in person with people. Who would have known? It's crazy. Everything's got turned upside down. And here's another memory. When you actually spend more time with your family than you ever had in your entire life, and you have more connections, even if it's entirely online. Wow. Hey, how about this? Marco Polo. Who would know that the game that we played in the swimming pool, we would actually be playing it with our family and with our friends, the good old Marco Polo app. And so now we're doing all kind of cool things, keeping up with our friends and family. So I'm playing hangman with my grandson, and the first phrase, really catchy phrase, that he came up with, I figured it out, and it was smarty pants. No, smarty farts. Smarty farts. And I was a smart fart, and I figured it out. I'm really enjoying this game. So here's another memory. When you meet your neighbors for the first time in years, because they finally come outside, and so do you. So I had a situation where my neighbors just got a dog. Now, it's not a puppy. It's a good-sized dog, and it's a really cute dog. And I said, what's your dog's name? Meanwhile, we're holding our social distance here, and they tell me, well, we haven't named the dog yet because we don't know what to name the dog. Now, mind you, this is not a puppy. And you know, dogs, they're pretty smart. And so I'm just looking at this dog, and I'm thinking, he's looking up at his new owners, and he's thinking, what's going on here? I actually have a name. Why are you calling me dog? Why won't you call me by my name? And so what's even more confusing for the dog is I come out and the dog's going, because dogs really love me. And the dog wants me to pet him. And so I say, can I pet your dog? And she's like, I don't think that's very wise. And the other one says, well, I actually heard you can catch coronavirus from the dog. Oh, okay. No worries. And meanwhile, the dog's just like, what is with these humans? This is insane. I just went about my business. Said, okay. Meanwhile, here's another memory. When you try your darnest to stock up on essential groceries, and it's not 2 days gone by and you done run out of your most important staple, chocolate, and you're willing to risk your life to go to the grocery store and get some more chocolate. This is getting serious, my folks. So, meanwhile, I still can't get over the cleaning lady sending me instructions on how to clean my house. And I still can't get over the fact that I actually took her instructions, I cleaned my house, and I paid her for telling me how to clean my house. What's happening here? Wow, it reminds me, have you noticed that this whole deal is kind of like a big old circus? And it's replete with scary clowns, our government running the show here, trying to scare us into our cages, and a coronavirus tiger, trying to come at us. And where's the ringmaster? There is no ringmaster in charge here. But instead, the monkeys are running the show. Oh my gosh, I have a question for you. Are your monkeys running your show? What monkeys you talking about, Denise? What you talking about? I'm talking about your anxiety, your loneliness, your sadness, your anger, and all of that. They're your monkeys. They're parts of you. And I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. I'm pretty sure your monkeys are wreaking havoc, swinging from the chandeliers and busting into the china cabinet using your fine china as frisbees and jumping on the bed with feather pillow fights. Is that what's happening over there with all that anxiety and loneliness and sadness? Your monkeys are wreaking havoc in your life? Well, my friends, it's time for you to show up for your monkeys and start taking charge of your circus, of your show. And so you may be saying, hey, I don't like it that my monkeys are running the show and they are tearing up the place, and I am very miserable with all of this anxiety and loneliness and sadness. I do not like it one bit. Well, I want to say to you that it's entirely possible for you to heal those parts of yourself. And when you heal those parts of yourself, woof, those monkeys start being little angels. And it's amazing. And you shift everything into your happy and peaceful life. And you start doing things that you never thought you could do before and enjoying your life. So you're like, that sounds amazing. Okay, me. I want to know how to tame my monkeys and start creating this new life, because I don't like what's happening right now. It's getting kind of crazy. I actually happen to be an expert on that. I actually have learned how to heal myself, all of my anxiety, all of my sadness, all of my loneliness as it arises, and I'm pretty good at it. In fact, I'm also really good at telling other people, showing them how to do the same. So here's what I got. Down below in the links, there is a free masterclass for you to learn how to discover how to get your shift together and start feeling better every day. And I know that's what you want for your life. See, if you keep ignoring your monkeys, if you keep pushing them away, you keep trying to feel better for a little while, it's not going to work. Because here's the thing. What we fight, we strengthen. What we resist and push away, all that anxiety and loneliness, it persists. So this is the goal, is to heal ourselves so we can start individually and as a collective to create something new for our world. That's why we're going through this. It's our chance to start fresh. But you got to heal your monkeys. You got to heal your anxiety and your loneliness and your sadness. And so you're saying, well, I'm trying. Well, most people do exactly the opposite of what actually works. And so that's why I want you to highly consider, it's not going to be any problem for you to spend a little bit of time investigating how to get your shift together, how to heal your anxiety, how to heal your sadness and your loneliness, so we can just move on down the road and start enjoying our world. So anyway, by the way, it's a process. You know, me just saying, hey, you need to love your monkeys, that's not enough, because you can't go from here to here. You have all of a sudden, it's a process, and it's actually a rather simple process, and it actually doesn't take a very long time, but it's actually something that is not intuitive to us as humans, and it's actually the exact opposite of what most people do. And so I have clients who are going through this amazing transformation in a very short space of time. And so I just encourage you to investigate how you can start feeling better every day. Meanwhile, I'm going to wrap up this comedy hour with, I'm going to tell you about going to the bank. Because remember I told you that you have to wear a mask wherever you go here, especially when you go into the bank. And so it's very odd because I look like a robber, okay? And I'm going to wait to show you this because I want to be able to speak clearly. So meanwhile, I got this mask on. And you know, your mama told you that money carries a lot of germs. So it's very important for you not to get germs these days. So you got to have some hand sanitizers. Newsflash, have you been to the grocery store? They're out of hand sanitizer. So I had to improvise. And so I got me some KY jelly. It's going to do the trick here. So anyway, so I need me some money. So I'm going to hold up my hand sanitizer, aka KY jelly, and go to the bank. So I got myself my mask going on. Oh, Lordy. And I walk into the bank, and mind you, that not only is this acceptable, it's required for you to look like a robber. So I go in there and I'm in line. I got me my hand sanitizer, aka KY jelly. I hold up my hand sanitizer. I say, I need $200 ASAP. And she looks at me. She says, this girl's a little bit strange, holding up KY jelly. But I'm going to give her $200, and she does. What is this world coming to when you have to look like a robber? Look like a robber and hold up hand sanitizers to get your money from the bank. It's crazy, my folks. But hang in there. We're going to make it. I look forward to connecting with you. Oh, by the way, if you're watching me on YouTube, I want to encourage you to subscribe and like this post and subscribe to my channel, because I'm coming to you all the time with a bunch of wonderful things to help you to improve your life and to give you some time to laugh and enjoy. And so I really would like, hey, maybe you want to share this with other people, because if you enjoyed it, I bet some other people will enjoy it too. So I'm going to sign off now, and I will see you in the next video.